I'm just gonna ask you this. Marry, kill, Miami, Oakland, Houston.
Are we even allowed to say this?
Presented by Geico. I'm your host, Katie Nolan. Tonight, I learned how to make beer, I want to smoke weed with Bill Walton, and I sit down with Pat's wide receiver, Julian Edelman, as you just saw. But before we get into all that, guys, a quick word about Meryl Streep. A lot of people, because it's a sports show, a lot of people were bothered by a line in her acceptance speech at the Golden Globes on Sunday night that seemed to take an unnecessary shot at sports.
Hollywood is crawling with outsiders and foreigners. And if we kick them all out, you'll have nothing to watch but football and mixed martial arts, which are not the arts.
Yeah, that's right, mixed martial arts. You may have the word in your name, but that doesn't mean you are it. Kind of like the McRib. Now, I love Meryl the most. That's my girl. And while I totally get what she was trying to say here, that without the arts we'd have nothing to watch but sports, I can't help but feel like she's really missing the mark. Meryl, there is beautiful art in sports. I'm not being metaphorical. I'm talking about real art, like dramatic flair. Theater, if you will. I'm talking, of course, about Brock Osweiler's handoffs. Jazz hands than Mamma Mia. And luckily, you can see that every week. Well, maybe not after next week, but good news is he should have a bunch of free time if you need a co-star for the sequel to The Giver. Hey, speaking of unnecessary drama, let's talk about Boatgate. Boatgate. Quick recap. Last Monday, on the Giants' day off, Odell Beckham and a few other members of the receiving corps were spotted in photos across social media partying on a boat in Miami. Then, on Sunday, the Giants lost to the Packers in the wild card round, and Odell had a pretty bad game. He dropped 3 passes, though some say it was only technically 2, but one was definitely for a touchdown. It was like the perfect storm for hot takes.
If you want to criticize Odell Beckham today, you go ahead, because you have a right to.
Shipwreck, writes the New York Post.
He still has a way to mature as a human being, as a football player, as a professional.
I'm saying, well, who started the distraction?
We're going to make fun of you. We're going to put a crying meme on your face.
But to him, that's building your brand. Creating distractions is actually a good thing, because any publicity is good, except for trying to win a football game.
The one guy who wasn't on their boat was better than you, Odell. How does that happen?
I don't know how those sunglasses happen on television. Now, listen, despite that joke, I respect my elders, but this is one of those issues where I feel like us younger people, and yes, I can say that for like 2 more weeks, we just see the story completely different. First of all, okay, everyone's acting like the boat was Odell's idea, but are we just gonna ignore the fact that Trey Songz was there? Trey Songz, the most convincing person on the planet. He can get you to do things you didn't think you were going to do. Trust me, he's just that smooth. I'm so awkward and you're so sexy. This is so weird for me personally. Like I don't know what
if we were at the ball game. No.
This is how I am at the ball game, Trey. This is how I watch baseball. It stresses me out.
There you go.
Sink. Sounds like a Cowboys fan when they saw this picture. Second of all, guys, Green Bay was on a 6-game winning streak and playing at home with Aaron Rodgers on a roll. And they're the Packers. You thought a bunch of dudes who forgot to put one shirt in their suitcase were gonna pull out a win? Please. But most importantly, when Odell does something immature and the hot takes come rolling in about how he needs to grow up, to me, it's like, how? When was that supposed to have happened? He's 24. He's been a legit star since his junior year at LSU. He caught a ball with one hand as a rookie, and sports media spent the next year like making a doll out of his hair to add to their shrine. When you pamper, praise, and coddle a guy for a bunch of his formative years, he doesn't just like find it in himself one day to mature. You guys, our elders, are supposed to step in and help with that. And sure, that includes veteran players like Victor Cruz, who sure was on the boat. But I like Victor. And how do we know he wasn't there to keep things afloat? You know, like maybe Odell was like, guys, let's go to a strip club and like do drugs and stuff. And Victor was like, or how about a day on a boat, huh? Yeah? We can be topless too. Point is, the Giants have actual people on their staff who are paid to be in charge. Ben McAdoo needs to take responsibility for Odell right after he takes responsibility for that mustache. And it's real easy for Giants GM Jerry Reese to take the time to chastise Odell to the press after the fact, but where was that guidance before or during the season? Probably wherever the answers to all those questions we had about Josh Brown are. Players can be leaders on the field. They can be, but at the end of the day, that's the job of a team's literal leadership. So, old people, maybe blame the old people for once. Just saying. Bill Belichick would never have let this happen, though. You think you're going to see a Patriot on a boat the week before a playoff game? Oh, Is this bad? A player. You're not going to see a player. I think we're going to be okay. But speaking of what the Patriots did on their week off, I went to Boston last week to sit down with Julian Edelman and talk football, movies, and children's books. That's coming up after the break. But first, while I was in Boston, I took a tour of the Sam Adams Brewery with founder Jim Cook because beer, duh. I'm here at the Sam Adams Brewery. Believe it or not, I have never been here before. I know. So I'm gonna take a tour and I'm gonna see what this place is all about. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
You.
You too. You want a beer?
I'd love one. Thank you very much.
Welcome to our brewery.
Thank you for having me. I like that I can say you to you because that's usually how I greet people, and that doesn't go over well in most other situations.
At Sam Adams, that's one of our rules, the you rule, which is it's okay to say you. You just have to explain what you meant by it.
Oh, I meant.
So what did you mean?
I meant thank you for that delicious beer.
Well, you too.
So where are we right now? What is this beautiful room?
This is the brew house here at the Sam Adams Brewery. So here's how you make beer. You take the grain barley that's been steeped in warm water to germinate it. You grind it up, and you draw out the warm, sweet liquid. You put that into the brew kettle. You boil it with hops. And once it's cool, you put the yeast in it, put it in an aging tank, and the yeast has created the alcohol, a lot of the beer flavors, and the carbonation. So that's how you make beer.
So like this step, all cool, but this is the one that matters to me?
Well, that's where you get your alcohol, if that's what you're looking for. Well, let me show you the ingredients. This is malt. It's the grain barley that's been steeped in water and germinated and then dried. It's kind of crunchy and sweet. Tastes like grape nuts. The other ingredients are water and yeast, and then the final ingredient is this.
Weed?
Well, these are hops. They're the nearest botanical relative to our old friend marijuana.
What if you made beer with weed? Could you do it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, people have done it. Not legally. And frankly, it's a lot better to smoke it than drink it. I mean, you can smoke hops. We had a hookah here for a long time. This is the Nano Brewery. It's where a lot of really cool magic things happen.
So this is like a test kitchen.
Yeah.
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 I want that. That sounds great. Red grape.
Well, we can get you some.
Must. This place is cool.
Yeah, I feel like Willy Wonka. Yeah.
Oh my God, it smells like wine.
Better. Beer is much more complex than wine. Because the winemaker has one ingredient, grapes. That's all they have. Brewer can use anything they want.
Anything?
Anything.
Pizza.
Pizza, we've made beer with chicken hearts. We got a lot of
Why?
bad emails from PETA over that. Yeah, I couldn't let you leave without putting a few more beers in you. You've had 2 or 3.
If I had $1 every time I
You can't
heard
leave
that.
without at least having a 6-pack. Can
All
I give you
right.
some more beers?
Yeah, sure, I guess, if you insist.
All right.
What does that say on it?
This? Oh, that's my opener.
Oh, it's just my opener. Sam Adams, owner.
It was either that or a corporate jet, and I figured, you know, if I didn't have an opener, I'd shoot myself. So.
Made the right call.
Yeah.
All right, what's this fancy looking thing?
This is the lunatic fringe of beer. This is Sam Adams Utopias. It's the strongest beer in the world. It weighs in at about 60 proof.
What's a normal beer?
About 10.
Okay. So explain to me again how you make this?
Well, it takes decades. So some of these barrels are over 20 years old. We make it like a regular beer, only just really, really, really strong.
It's sweet and it's like caramelly. It's got good legs.
You
right?
didn't waste all those years bartending.
Yeah, really. I promise you I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drunk.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome back to Garbage Time, guys. So last week I was hanging out in Boston and I was like, hey, I'll go by Gillette and see what's going on. Since I'm totally allowed on the premises to do whatever I want, I thought I'd go check out the visitors' locker room and mess around with some stuff before this weekend's game. So what? But guess what? I got there and there's a camera crew set up in there and Julian Edelman was just sitting there hanging out. So I decided I would sit down and see what was up. Julian Edelman, hi. Thanks for sitting with me in this abandoned locker room.
No problem.
Yeah, cool. Congratulations, week 17, big week for you. You put up some pretty big stats. Longest touchdown of your career, right?
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, that was big.
It was huge.
How do you pay him back for something like that?
Well, technically, we're not legally allowed to pay anything for any of those types of things because we don't want to break a rule, and quite frankly, around here, we don't break rules. So, you know, I just pat him on the butt and said, hey, man, you're a great teammate.
You played in all 16 games this season.
Yeah.
Is that like something to hang your hat on for you?
I mean, that's the goal going into every year is to play in 16. Sometimes durability is better than ability, especially in this crazy sport. You know, it was a tough year. I had to come back from an injury. I had a daughter. There was a whole roller coaster of emotions, and you know, I'm looking forward to the playoffs.
And a daughter, that's crazy.
In the middle of a season.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was.
They say that puts everything in perspective for you.
It really does.
Yeah?
It really does. You instantly feel something different.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm still probably not going to do it, though. I don't think I'm going to have a kid. It's a lot of work. That's a human.
It's like having a dog, but a human, yeah.
Is there no work-life balance at all during these weeks of your life?
We get this little thing we call the drawer. You put everything in the drawer, and you shut the drawer, and you deal with it after the season. You know, if you want to be good at something, you can't be balanced.
You just had a baby. Just make sure that
The baby's not in the drawer.
Okay.
The baby's not in the
leave
drawer.
it cracked open. I don't want to say the word that I know you're sick of hearing and everyone's sick of hearing. I feel like that may have been
What
the
word?
rallying cry last season. There was a bit of a controversy around air and a tire, let's say, if you were to take that, and then, you know, what you put around a house. Losing air plus fence.
I'm not getting it.
Deflategate.
Oh.
Right. So last year, I feel like maybe that motivated you guys. What's the rallying cry this year?
Improve.
So a shorter one than I was expecting.
Yeah. Just try to go out and do well in the practice field and improve and play your best football in the playoffs. So I'd say improve.
Who do you want in the Super Bowl? Let's just cut to the chase.
What do you mean, who do I want in the Super Bowl? Do we want to go to?
Julian, do you want to go to the Super Bowl?
I mean, of course, that's your.
Okay,
That's
so
your,
then that leaves one spot. Who do you want to play?
You know, I'll be focused on. I'm a Patriot.
I didn't.
Wish we
you
would have
didn't
got that
write
on the cue card.
Flying High, your children's book.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know you were a children's author.
Shel Silverstein, Julian Edelman.
Martellus Bennett, your teammate, also writes children's books.
Mm-hmm.
Who writes better children's books?
Marty's pretty darn good. I don't know. He's really good.
I think you should take Gronk, give him both books, and see which one he loves the most. That would be a good way to know who wrote the best book.
I mean, Gronk's like a savant.
Yeah, at football.
At everything.
Yeah?
Yeah. I literally walk down the hallways and say, Gronk, what's like 364 times 15? And he like knows the answer.
What?
Yeah. I put a math problem on a chalkboard once, walked away, and I came back, it was done. I said, who did this? And it was Gronk. That's weird.
Are you telling me the plot of Good Will Hunting?
Nah, it's just standard work day at, New England.
That's literally the plot of Good Will Hunting.
That's what you think.
So in this book that you wrote, there's a goat named Tom, a squirrel named Jules, and an owl that coaches a team. So it feels like these characters, these animals are influenced by people maybe in your life. And what animal would Gronk be?
He's like a gorilla or something.
Yeah, that's good.
Or just like a beast. He's not even an animal, he's just a beast.
What animal would Martellus Bennett be?
Marty? Like an elephant.
They never forget.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever forgot a play.
Yeah.
So yeah, an elephant.
What about Kraft?
Mr. Kraft?
Mr. Kraft.
He's the lion. It's the king.
What about outside of your team, Vince Wilfork?
Big V's he's like a rhino.
What about Brock Osweiler?
He's like a giraffe. He's really tall.
Like an ostrich, because it's like a giraffe is tall, but like kind of graceful. I feel like an ostrich is like, what the f? Head in the sand sometimes.
I thought giraffe, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I was thinking, so we're in the visitors' locker room. What are the odds that I could like leave little get in your head notes? It's something super ominous and creepy. And then someone from the Texans comes in here next week and opens up a note that's like, don't get on the flight. And then the rest of the game, they're like, what did that mean?
That'd be terrifying.
Right?
I don't know, but anytime we travel, you're like the 8th person that goes in there.
So you're saying I shouldn't leave a note? And I thought you would really like the idea of me,
I
trying
appreciate.
to help.
No, yeah.
I won't write. I know about it. I'm gonna tell, and leave it in one of these lockers. I'm definitely not gonna do that. I won't do that. I got you.
We'll take the knuckles on that one.
Yeah. So thank you for doing this.
Oh, no problem.
Seriously, good luck.
Thank you.
You guys are kicking ass.
This
Cool.
seems like a cool show.
That's all right.
I'll check it out. I mean, I've watched it like 30 times.
You can get the knuckles on that. I don't think he's ever seen the show. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. Coming up, we're adding golden retrievers and dropping showers. Stick around. Welcome back to Garbage Time, guys. It's time for Atra. We interviewed Trey Songz. I totally forgot that happened. And now that I've been reminded, I cannot forget that happened. First up, I'm going to add Future, who we'll be hearing a lot of this Saturday at the Falcons-Seahawks game because of this guy, Jay Envy, the Falcons' official DJ. He was claiming online that he prepared a playlist full of Future in order to troll Russell Wilson, who, as we all know, is married to Future's baby mama, Sierra. There's so many nouns in that story. But what's most interesting to me is that the DJ's name is DJ J Envy. DJ J and it's a very bad DJ name. And I'm going to drop DeMarcus Cousins, who may be dropping some music of his own.
You know who you should?
You know what? I got a deal for everybody. You guys make me a starter in this year's All-Star game. I will release my R&B album.
Okay, so you did, important to know, he did this last year on April Fool's Day, too. So I gotta ask, did you write it yet? Because if you did, and you just don't feel like giving it to us, I don't really want it. And if you didn't, I don't really want it. Next up, I'm gonna add Bill Walton, who raised some eyebrows during Monday's National Championship megacast when they came back from commercial a little early.
Marijuana should not be a Schedule 1 drug.
Get them.
And all the people who have been in trouble for it for all these years, Obama just blanket amnesty and let's move on to the future.
Yeah. Move on to the future. It's the opposite of what Sierra did. And I'm going to drop David Ortiz. I'm sorry, but he raised a few eyebrows and all of our hopes on Monday when he tweeted simply at Boston Globe. And he didn't delete it or explain it, and he still hasn't tweeted again. What are you doing? Are you coming back? Are you coming back? Did you see Spotlight? That's it for Ad Drop. Coming up, we shout out Golden Tate, the Lions receiver. What'd you guys think I meant? Jeez. Jeez. And to be honest, it's been decriminalized in most states anyway, so it's not even really illegal anymore, and I'm not sure why we can't just... Welcome back to Garbage Time, guys. Run out of time in the show, but there's some stuff we didn't cover. So before we go, some quick shout-outs. Shout out to Clemson, who cost Vegas sportsbooks nearly $20 million by beating Alabama in the national championship on Monday. Now Vegas knows what it's like to go to Vegas. Shout out to Allen Iverson, who will reportedly be a coach in Ice Cube's 3-on-3 professional basketball league. He will be the first coach ever to hate practice. Shout out to Rajon Rondo, who was benched for all of Rajon Rondo bobblehead night. When asked if that was ironic, Rondo said... Shout out to our Garbage Time Hero of the Week. This week, it's this guy.
YOLO.
No. Is that real? Did they pay you to do that? Get it? That's all for this week, guys. Next week on Garbage Time, I review Boogie Cousins' R&B album, Drake becomes a Cowboys fan, and Grayson Allen trips a baby. Big thanks to Julian Edelman for hanging out and Sam Adams for all the free beer. Have a great week, guys. Here's more Garbage. Should I walk? I'm walking and talking, yeah? Leave that in.
This was a bong where you could take some of the beer out of it.
A bung?
What are the options?
Marry.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Yeah, matrimony.
Sounds like bung hole. Like this is a bung hole.
It is a bung hole. It's not what you think of. A brewer thinks of a bung hole differently.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably want to have fun with Miami.
So you're gonna...
I mean...
Thank you so much.
Your glass.
A glass. It comes in one.
All right.